Oh. Oh, there it goes. Thought my mic wasn't working, but it was. Hello, YouTube peoples. Beautiful peoples. Gonna be streaming, working on this here painting. This here big, crazy painting that I've been working on for far too long. And we're nearing the end. So part of the reason I'm streaming is because I want to motivate myself to get it done. And I figured it'd be fun, because I want to start streaming again. And so this is my second stream back. So feel free to hang out, ask questions, talk amongst yourselves, talk to me, or say nothing at all, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to be drawing, talking, rambling, all that good stuff. Painting, not drawing. There's probably not going to be a lot of drawing. There might be a little drawing. Probably not a lot of drawing. Mostly painting. And as soon as I start now, I'm hungry. Wish I had a pizza or something. Last time, I was working on Johnny here. And I started rendering his face and his glasses. And then I got down to his pants. Started rendering some pants. Some shiny leather pants. Still need to do more work on that, but it's coming along. It's not bad. It's really quite not bad. It's getting there, which I said about 1,000 times on my last stream, so I'm gonna try not to say that so much this time. No promises, but I'll try. And for anyone wondering, I am still working on the Mega Man X FPS project. It's just slow going. You know, at some point during the stream, maybe I'll pull that up just to show people like kind of where it's at now, because I haven't really done like a video showing the little bits of progress that I've made, so I might run through that. That could be fun. Once we get hopefully some more peeps in here. Or maybe I should do a separate stream so people actually know what that is if they're interested in that. I don't know. I could always do it twice. I'll do it this stream at some point, and I'll do it probably do another official one that's marked for that at some point. But yeah. Let's get going here. And I am actually streaming from my tablet. I have found a program that lets me plug my little Samsung tablet into my desktop computer and then put the screen up there via just a USB, because it doesn't have an HDMI out, and it lets me stream from my desktop computer, because I couldn't draw on the tablet and also stream at the same time, so I'd have to go back to using my super old Cintiq with my desktop computer. And I'm getting used to this, or I've gotten used to this tablet. I've had it for a while now, so, and it's better than my old Cintiq. The drawing, the pressure, and all that. So I want to keep using this. And I found a way to do it. It's pretty cool. And this is Clip Studio, for anyone wondering who didn't know. Clip Studio Paint. I think it's the highest version, whatever it is. I don't remember. X, maybe? Yeah, so I was adding these little detail, this little texture on his jacket down here when I left off, I think. And that still needs more work. Not necessarily in those particular areas, but like there's more kind of going on in the shadow. I'm not going to do too much detail in the shadow because that sort of doesn't look great. But I am gonna make sure things are somewhat defined. And if my voice is too quiet or anything, let me know, but my levels are the same as the last stream as far as the audio goes, so it should be good. But feel free to tell me I'm a knucklehead if I'm a knucklehead. That's totally okay. And I'm gonna try to be fun and engaging, because that's important. But I never am, so I'm gonna say that every time, just because it's stupid. Alrighty. I got my reference here, so I'm kind of looking at that, sorting out what I'm gonna do here as far as this panel's detail. It doesn't need that much because there's like stitching here and then some other stuff, so I'm not gonna make it too crazy, but I am gonna. And I was drawing comics last time I used this, so I gotta get my brushes squared away again. Let's go back to this, and what do I have here? Yeah, that's about right. Alright. Okay, so let's pull that back up. Yeah, I just want to bring a little bit of light over here to give it some definition. Problem is I can't see what I'm doing when the lines are that dark, but I can't see where they are when they're light. So I'll have to kind of work with that a little bit. Such is life. Never-ending teeter-totter of compromises. I haven't thought about a teeter-totter since I was like 12, maybe younger. Where the hell did that layer go that I was working on? Gosh dang it. This is what happens. Oh, okay, there we go. When you have a lot of layers, I was already on it. I'll try not to be zoomed in like this too much, because I know it's boring to look at when I'm zoomed in like that, but I do kind of have to see what I'm doing here, at least for a minute. Let's see. And I'll be sure to look at the chat every once in a while, so I don't miss anyone. If anyone does pop in and wanna ask questions or something. Right now it's pretty dead. I think I do have one person watching though. See, I had 4 viewers earlier when I had the stream starting soon thing on. I should have started sooner. But that's okay. I'm sure some people will pop in. A lot of the times I do streams later at night too, so I actually don't know, because now it's like the middle of the afternoon. I don't know how many people are gonna tune in, because it seems like the people who watch me somewhat regularly might be more night owls or just in a different time zone. I know there's a lot of people from South America who dig the Mega Man stuff, so a lot of them, I think they can only tune in later. They might be sleeping now or at work. I don't know what the time difference is, but I know it's different. It's very different. It's not the same. Not at all. It's maybe too loud. That works actually. I really like this FF7 lo-fi. Last stream I was talking about it and I was like, this must be the Turk song, and I didn't remember for some reason. It was Cosmo Canyon. What a plebe. I didn't even recognize the Cosmo Canyon song. Awful person I am. Just take my FF7 fan card away. That was funny, wasn't it? I'm losing my mind. That's super cringe. That's what you get for coming here and watching me. You get cringe. That's what you deserve for supporting me in my artistic endeavors. You get cringe. Oh, I sense a disturbance in the force. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I will be RB right back. Hang on. Whoa. Sorry about that. I'm back now. I had to put out a small fire. It was a metaphorical fire, so you couldn't see it, but it was very real. And here I am, back to painting. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, that little edge of those little panels won't need much more than that to be defined. I guess I should. Actually, yeah, I gotta define the top part a little bit. I'll just make it a little darker. Kind of like what it looks like right now, but that's just the line. Doing that, see, there's nothing without the line. So I'm just gonna sample that color and make the line even lighter so I can see what I'm doing. Get in there and rotate this obnoxiously. I'll just indicate these so I can turn the line off completely and then make it not look like shit. It's 4. Does YouTube not like that? I don't know. I might get in trouble. Or I might just get no viewers. That's definitely the reason. It's not because of me. It's because I swore. Yep. That's what happened. I think it'll be better if I pick like a consistent time to stream. I just tell people that I'm gonna do that. But in order to do that, I have to be consistent. So. But yeah, that's probably a good idea if I want this to grow. So I will most likely do that at some point. I'll have to pick a time when it seems like most people are available to watch, though. It's kind of hard to tell, but after doing a few streams at different times, I'll probably get a good idea, I think. It is the middle of the afternoon right now. This is probably not the best time, but it was the best time for me today. So that's why I'm doing it now. People are probably at work. Still. And doing other things. Better things than watching me watch paint dry digitally. It's starting to look like that exists. Not bad. Let's just turn this off all the way now. Let's see what we're working with. Okay. See, what did I do here? Did I actually draw in those panels with dark? Or is that like... Did I copy the outline? I don't know what I did there. It looks weird. Like the outline's still on. I don't like that. I gotta fix it. Yeah, let's see. Probably grab this. Oops, not quite that dark. Something like that. And this panel actually curves over. It doesn't actually have this part here like this, the way that I had it. So this is kind of drawn wrong. Gotta fix it up. Just do a quick job of it and then I'll refine it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this done. Not just because I've been working on it for so long, but also because I think it's actually looking pretty good, the whole thing. You know? And I just want those two front characters to be rendered already. I've been lagging. And they're still not rendered. Johnny's kind of rendered, but V's not rendered at all. Really. He's like blocked in still. So, I really want to see if it holds up once I'm really done. It still looks okay to me. I think the composition could have been maybe a lot better. I don't think I really nailed it, and I kept adjusting it a lot as I continued to work on it, even late into the painting, because I was like just not happy with it. So I made little tweaks, and I do think it looks better, but I don't think it looks great. I think I could do better. I think it looks okay in terms of the composition, but I'm really happy with everything else, so for the most part. But yeah, we'll see if that holds up when it's actually done. Now this lip is actually not really going to be quite like that, yeah, because I see what it's doing now. It's more like, it's a harder edge, and then there's this like, yeah, okay, so let's fix that now that I notice it, and just match it to the local area, because this is not really how this is gonna look. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why I did it like that. I must not have been thinking when I did that. Why is that coming out so dark even though I'm sampling this? See? It makes no sense. What's going on? There we go. This is one of my favorite FF7 songs. the lo-fi version, but you know, it's very nice. Yeah, that makes way more sense for what this is. There's just that little lip up above, or lip, the little ridge up here that would be a little lighter. It's not that big chunky thing that I had going on. Yeah, and then there's gonna be this darker part. Where it kind of folds in on itself. It's not quite dark enough. I don't want to make it too dark. There we go. Where the stitching is... Where is it? Let me look at this reference here. My mouse falls asleep too fast. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot my caffeine. I have my little thing here. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I definitely didn't drop anything. That's what you're thinking I did. You're wrong. Oh, it's shaking up. Alright, I guess that gives it away. I did drop something. Holy crap. God gosh, dang it. I'm glad I wasn't holding that over the desk. Ah, damn. Super cool. That's always cool to have happen when you're streaming. I'm not complaining, I'm just noticing. Or have my stylus in my mouth. Cool. Putting out more fires. Oh shit. Now the fucking floor is getting covered in that. I gotta clean this. Hang on. I can't just leave this here. I'm using my standing desk and I'm just like stepping in Alani new energy drink. Or whatever it's called. Terrible. Alright. Luckily I have paper towels here. All good. On stream? Are you guys enjoying this? Whoever might be watching? I got 2 people. Nobody's talking. That's okay, you don't have to. Just laugh at me in the corner. Back at it. I actually drink some of it now. Alrighty. Okay, so now I don't know why I let go of that dark color that I was using because I still need it. My brain just went on to do something else without like consulting me first. Does that a lot. The other day I forgot a pass number that I've definitely known for like months that I had memorized, and I just was standing trying to remember what it was so I could put it in, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? I'm losing my mind. I might be old. Or getting old. I don't know. It's very frightening. checking on my... Okay, good. Thought the stream was lagging for a second there. It's not. Good, good. And then this one will be easier because it's all the same value. I'm not 100% sure that Reed's face totally looks like him. Does that look like Idris Elba to you? It looks a lot better than it did. I've worked on that face probably more than any other face in this image. And I definitely got it better than it was, but his likeness is so hard to capture for some reason. He has like kind of an asymmetrical face. I mean, most people I think have a little bit of an asymmetrical face, but his is something particularly challenging about figuring it out. I don't know what it is. I think everyone else looks pretty much like how they look, but I'm not quite sure about him yet. Might need more work. We'll see. It's definitely important to get stuff like that right before you put it out there, because once it's out there forever. So, for better or worse, regardless of whether or not anyone even sees it, I mean, it's out there. So it's good to really make sure everything's how you want it to be before you put it out. That's too bright for this area. You just sample this instead. That's about right. Now this is still not quite working for me, because this is not going to be this dark here. It's just not. There's no reason for it to, because it's not. It's sort of going in, but it's not like creating that shadow like that. It's more like flush with the rest of the thing. And this is going to straighten out because it's like it's wrapping under. It's not doing what I thought it was when I first started painting this, I guess. I must have thought it was doing something else, because this is not correct at all. And then he's got like, so now let me start on another layer, just putting in the stitching, because that'll help guide me a lot with this. Might seem crazy. It probably is, to do the stitching. Might seem like overkill, but I think it adds. I mean, if you're going this realistic, trying to anyway, I think it really does add to the sense that, you know, that it's real. Especially if it's kind of prominent, like it's a black, what do you call it? Vest. Body armor, whatever, and the threads are like white, so they really do stand out. So anyway, that's my excuse for adding them. Yeah, so there's this like panel here. That's not bright enough. I don't want it to be too bright, but it can't be that dark either. Yeah, that's about right. So there's this panel that like goes around this, or it connects like this, and then it just becomes like flush with the jacket. So the way I had it painted before really didn't. Yeah, see, that adds definitely some, like, that feels a lot more like a real thing now, as opposed to just a bunch of mushy paint. It's kind of a cliche, but yeah, sometimes those little things really do kind of help a lot with defining things. That's probably why the character designers have them there in the first place, if you think about it. None of that's by accident. Like, they chose everything that was there, and it's a very high fidelity, you know, realistic game, so it's got to look real. It's not, you know, PlayStation 2 era anymore, where you can just not include the stitching. You gotta do all that. It's crazy. Imagine if you had to 3D model the stitching, that'd be crazy. But you don't, it's just, it's like textures. I'm sure somebody's done it before, but that's not how they do it. Pretty sure. There's so many things to watch right now, like so many things that look good or that people have like recommended to me, and games. Like I still really want to try Marvel Rivals. Haven't touched that yet. I've heard great things from a lot of people, and there's so many cool things to watch too. I was thinking about people keep telling me about Invincible and how cool it is, and I have Amazon Prime, so I could very well watch it, and I just haven't, because there's so many things that you could watch that it's almost like I can't pick anything, so I just don't watch anything. I just listen to the same podcast that I've listened to like 10 times or something. But I'm thinking that Invincible thing, I'm actually going to give it some time and actually watch it, because the clips are so cool. Like, I'm sure everyone's seen the clip of him, like, I think it's his son. He's like beating the crap out of him, and they're having this really intense conversation that's like kind of like weirdly like an analysis of superhero, like what superheroes would be if it was more realistic. It's really kind of interesting, but in like the subtext, that's not actually what they're talking about exactly, but yeah, it seems really cool. And that voice actor, or he's an actor, I forget his name, but he's does the voice amazingly. Yeah, he's like a really well-known actor. I can't remember his name though. I've seen him in tons of stuff. Well, I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about. The main guy. Is his name Invincible? I don't know. Is that the name of the superhero? I think it is. Doesn't he have an eye on his chest or something? If I get into that, maybe I'll do a painting of him, because he's a pretty cool looking character. Yeah, that looks way better already than it did. It looks much more like the actual, what his actual jacket looks like. And I think I know how to solve this flatness that's going on here, because this is kind of supposed to be rounding here. I think I can just add a little indication, like there's some light, it's catching some light here basically. And even though that might not actually happen, I think that'll help round it out a bit. Yeah, but maybe, I don't know, I have to continue the dark a little more here then, because it's not quite reading. Or maybe that just needs to be lighter. I don't want to make it too fake though. Too fake looking. Maybe I should though. Maybe if it looks better. I mean, why not? I think the bottom one is reading better than the top one, for some reason. think it's the placement is off on this one. It's too far in or something. Probably wouldn't have that much character to it. Probably be a little more just streamed out. Yeah, that's kind of starting to work. Looks a little, you know, bullshitty, but it's fine. At least it looks round now. It doesn't look flat. I could probably break it up a little, and that'll make it a little more realistic, like in the middle, kind of here. And then, like, maybe just towards the bottom here. Oops. Wrong value. Just kind of give it a gradient kind of thing going on. Yeah, that looks better. And it still looks round now, at least. But yeah, that Invincible thing I really want to watch. I'm trying to think what else. See, there's so many things that I can't even pinpoint anything. Nothing comes to mind. It's like I can't hang on to anything. Like a lion trying to chase a whole herd of zebra. Or something. There's definitely other stuff. But yeah, Invincible looks super cool. Oh, you know what I never watched? That freaking Fallout show. Which I've heard good things about as well. I think that was also Amazon. Which is odd, because they don't have a great track record for, like, you know, doing video game adaptations. But I heard it was good. A lot of people like that one. So, I want to give that a shot also. I love Fallout. I never played the older games. I know everyone likes New Vegas, like that tends to be people's favorite. I didn't play any Fallout games until Fallout 4. So, most Fallout fans think I'm not a real fan. And maybe they're right, I don't know. But I love Fallout 4, I played that game so much. I tried to go back and play New Vegas, but all of the little quality of life enhancements that they have in Fallout 4 and the way the progression works and stuff, it was just hard for me to go back to Fallout 3 after that. I'm sure if I played 3 first, I would have liked it a lot. But I just, I was spoiled by, you know, slightly better UI design and little quality of life things, I guess. That happens a lot with games. When you try to go back and play like an old version of something and you played the new version. That's why, you know what I've been doing? I've been playing the, sporadically. Just an hour here and there, basically. I've been playing, the first Metal Gear Solid, PlayStation 1 game. Oh, I see this is all screwed up now. See, this should be following this more. See, this is why the stitching helps so much. It's showing me, like, where my things that I might not have noticed. But yeah, I've been playing the first Metal Gear Solid game, and, man, that game is fun. It's crazy how, like, even though it's a dated game, obviously, and, the controls are dated, even the gameplay in general is kind of dated. Like, there's not really any getting around it. It's still very, very fun because it's just so well designed and the story is so interesting. And it really, I can't say that it holds up, but it holds its own at least. And very well. Yeah, that game's super, super fun. I definitely want to finish it. I got stuck though. I forgot. That's why I haven't been playing it recently. I got stuck on the freaking cyborg ninja. He's unbelievably difficult. I know that there's like a trick to fighting him, and I kind of know what it is, but I haven't quite gotten it down yet. I know once I figure that out and practice it more, I'll be able to beat him, but it reminds me of being a kid when you would get stuck on a game. It's kind of more like, because it's not like, you know, it's hard in a little bit of an unfair way. It's not quite like just high difficulty. It's more like, this is kind of bullshit. It's like one of those things. A lot of games aren't like that anymore, but most games aren't. But that kind of in and of itself brings me back. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I was gonna say, you know, with a game like that, I've never played any of the Metal Gear games except for 5. And I wanted to go back and play them all, but I knew that if I went back to like 3 or 2, 3 is the one I really want to play, 3 and 4. But I know if I go back to those first, I'll be way too spoiled to ever go back and play the first one. So I gotta play the first one and then move my way up, because, yeah, I don't want to ruin it for myself. I guess I could just watch someone play them, but I want to experience those games. I think it's worth it, because those games are so revered by people. And I see why already, just from playing the first one as much as I have. Especially like when I'm playing it, I'm trying to imagine having played that back in the 90s. Like, that would have blown my mind if I played a game like that in the 90s. I would have been, so that's why everybody loved it so much, because it was so amazing for its time. Yeah, that's crazy how good that game was for back then, and how cinematic it is and everything. Kojima is amazing. I think for now, I just have one more part of the vest that I'm going to define, and then I'm going to move on, because I don't want to get too caught up on just working on this, because I'll go crazy. And I'll just put every little freaking bit of, like, stitching and detail and everything that's in there if I don't control myself. So I'm just going to tidy up the parts that obviously need to be tidied up here. So that I can more or less call it done. And then, yeah, this part is going to be annoying, because I don't know how deep I want to go with what's actually going on here. What's actually going on is there's like a lip that's the end of the vest, and then his shirt is poking out like underneath it, like this. I guess that's not too much to do, but that's not something anyone's ever going to notice, you know? I don't know. I guess I've spent so damn long on this painting that it doesn't really matter. I could spend more unnecessary time doing unnecessary things. At this point, it's just ridiculous how long it's taken. So I'm just gonna do whatever. Even that looks fine, honestly. I could leave it. I keep going back on what I just said. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see as I continue. Anyway, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do, and I'm gonna try to tidy up this vest, the parts of it that I need to move on. And I'll come back to it later if I feel like it needs more work. Because right now it's basically holding. The only thing is I haven't really been paying attention to this rim light, and I really need to get that actually working, because it's where I want it to be right now, but it's not actually like correct yet. It's not like rendered right. It's just kind of indicated, so I have to go back and do all that anyway. So I'll come back to everything later. I just want to get it to a point where it kind of looks showable. Like I could show it and be like, this is basically what it's gonna look like when it's finished. Eventually. Another thing I want to do, this is not a new thing, but an old thing. I want to go back and play Ocarina of Time again. I haven't played it. I used to play it like once a year, basically. Sometimes twice. And now, I can't even remember the last time I played it. It was probably more than 2 or 3 years ago. But that's such a comfort zone game for me. I could play it with my eyes closed. I've played it so much. I just love it still. I'm one of those people who doesn't hate it just because it's awesome. So, sorry. Sorry if you hate it. I love it. It got really popular to hate it, I think, because of that video that Ego Raptor made, which he had some valid critiques in that video. I'm not saying he didn't, but he doesn't give it the, it's like when people look back at the Beatles and they're like, what's so great about this? Because they have all the music of today. And it's like, well, yeah, but the reason you don't think this is impressive is because you've heard all the music that came that it was, that it inspired, basically. Like, no one ever sounded like that. Like, if you go back and listen to music from, like, the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, like, all the pop songs on the popular charts that there were back then, nothing sounds anything remotely like anything today. And then suddenly the Beatles came out and they just did all that crazy stuff. And then suddenly all this new stuff happened, and it changed the way people listen to music and what they liked so much. That's why the Beatles are great. And that's what Ocarina of Time did for video games. Like, no one had ever seen anything like that before. Like a 3D adventure game that was that, like, sophisticated for its time and that much thought put into it, and it actually had these really cinematic cutscenes. Like, that was all new. Like, now that's like every game, so we take it for granted, but they really blazed the trail with that, and that's like something that deserves reverence. And yeah, I don't think that video quite, he sort of mentions that briefly at one point, but he doesn't really give it the credence that it deserved. Still a great video. And he still makes some other really good points, but yeah, I think after he made that video, you saw it popping up all over the internet. Like, people just love to shit on that game. And they just love to, you know, act all pretentious and be like, no, that game's ruining Zelda because everything's copying it ever since. And it's like, well, it sounds like the other games are the ones ruining Zelda then, because they're copying another game. It's not that game's fault for being awesome. I mean, it's sort of a shallow way to think about it, I think. Nobody cares about this. This is just me. This is just me and like 3 other people on the internet who care about stuff like this. Who really care about games that much. Sorry. Sorry, this stream is boring. Me talking about stupid Zelda analyses. But this is like sort of a gaming related channel. It's like an art and video game development channel, so I mean there's definitely people here who like games. I mean, it's not that outside the box for me to talk about that, right? See, this is the one that for some reason I thought was the Turks on the last stream. It's Cosmo Canyon. It's obviously Cosmo Canyon. And then I find out it's something else. That would be just terrible. No, it's definitely Cosmo Canyon. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was the Turks song. The Turks song is completely different. Maybe there's a hint of something kind of like it in here, but not really. It's starting to look pretty decent. Wonder how much of these seams are gonna catch the light. Definitely some, but I don't want to overdo it. Probably like when it's really close to here. If that makes sense, right? Like like it would catch some of the light, like right, based on this lighting, like right here, kind of, and just fall off pretty quickly. A little bit down there. And then the bumps in between are probably can be indicated a little with that. Gotta make it grade 8 though, or it's not gonna look good. A little too much. Something like that, I suppose. I remember I was reading Craig Mullen's Sigin posts. There's this big PDF where Craig Mullen's, it's like a collection of his posts and critiques on this art forum that he used to go on all the time, I guess, and give advice. I mean, he must have gone on it all the time because there's tons. It's a giant PDF. But he gives all this advice on painting, and one of the things he says is, like, when you're trying to make stuff look realistic, you can't think of anything as a flat tone or a flat hue. Everything is gradating to some extent. Like, like if you have a flat plastic panel, it's gradating somewhere. Like it's a little bit lighter on one part and a little bit darker even on the flat of the surface. And that, I've always remembered that since I read that, because it's so true, and it really helps. He also says if you don't know where to put the gradation, put it on the diagonal, because that always looks better in terms of design. It's another good little tip he gives. Pick up a lot of little stuff like that from that PDF. It's pretty cool if you're into painting, and that is. He has a new course. I did his old, well, now it's old, his first course that he did on schoolism, which was just kind of a general digital painting course. And he's got a couple other ones now. He's got like a sci-fi one somewhere that might also be schoolism, I can't remember. And then he just had another one recently. I don't remember what the topic of it was, but anything he does is worth checking out, I think, because he's so very good at what he does. I want to watch all those things. But I also want to watch Invincible, which I haven't watched yet. So something's gonna win out. And keep playing Metal Gear. There's too many things. And I gotta paint, and I gotta stream, gotta work on the Mega Man X FPS, gotta do so many things. There's too many things. Now, something about this is not looking right. I don't know exactly what it is. I think this is too much here. It's distracting. And then this should be the underside that's darker here. And that's going to make this act differently. So I gotta fix that. I might be able to just liquefy it a little. That might work first, this kind of thing. This little tiny detail kind of thing. Probably okay. We'll see. Right now. Something like that. Oh, I see what's going on here. So there's a third tone that is the flat. That's why that's not quite working for me. Or actually, no. Because the right way to do that then would just be to make this tone a little lighter. Or value, rather. Easy. Because then that is easier than you would basically have to change that whole surface. So that's easier to just do this. It makes way more sense. This is the Turks. This is the Turks song. I guess it does kind of have a similar sort of a vibe to the Cosmo Canyon a little. This is the Turks song, right? See, I'm gonna be wrong again. Can't remember. I think this is the Turks. I mean that it's definitely the Turks. It's gotta be. I'm not wrong. The game is wrong. Kind of sounds like something Asmongold would say. This song is unmistakable. Everyone knows what this song is. If you don't, you've never played the game. That's for sure. Now there's another problem here. Is like how much of this is actually, you know, turning down versus like just kind of, it's like too wide, you know. It's got to be toned down a little or brought up a little or something. And it's also not going to gradate that much. It's just going to kind of do it because this is actually kind of a sharp turn. And then it's going to soften up real quick as well. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but trust me, it makes sense. Just talking about edges and forms. Just painting things. I love watching streamers do long streams where they just talk and they're entertaining the whole time, and it's like, it always kind of feels like, yeah, it looks fun. It's hard. I don't know how to do it. I don't even know what to talk about, really. I'm just like thought vomiting and like just like kind of narrating what I'm doing to some extent, which that's not the best thing. But, you know, it's better than being quiet, completely silent. Or maybe it's not. Maybe that's annoying. Maybe I should try a quiet stream. I don't think my paintings are impressive enough to get away with that. I think you gotta be really good to get away with streaming and just be quiet. And still have people interested in watching. See, it's also, I shot myself in the foot because it's not, I didn't decide like what this form actually was. I just kind of put it down like the rough values. So this isn't really like going the right way here. I gotta fix stuff. Yeah, and it could get a little wider towards here, that makes sense. It's not quite as boring. That's basically a gradient of width line weight gradient. That's that gradient thing, you know. Everything needs a gradient. If you're going for realistic, I guess. I can see. No, this part's the part that's not following. It's all being revealed to me. See, if I was good at this, I would have seen all this right away, and I would have done it right the first time. But when you're not good, you gotta edit a lot and just fix it till it works. I'm a fraud. I've never painted before. It's not real. Oh my god, it's not right at all. Let me just erase this. It's not working. Put it back in later. Because it's just fucking wrong. It's wrong. I'm probably zooming in too much too. This should be much less painful. This little thing shouldn't be this annoying. But I really want it to read right, to sell the leather pants look, texture and everything. But yeah, Invincible I really want to watch. Heard really good things. Want to play Marvel Rivals, really good things. So there's too many things, man. I think it's just not curving now, that's why it looks weird. I'm just gonna screw this up right now. Just go for it. I don't even know if this is all the layers that I need to put to, but we'll see. It's not big enough. Doo-doo-doo. No, it's not. See, I've got all these other layers, damn it. Yeah, and what other games? That Night Rain game looks cool. When that comes out, I want to play that. There's another game that came out recently that is definitely out now that I definitely want to play. I can't remember it right now. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Well, I can't even find all my layers, so I'm just gonna keep painting it and fixing it that way. I don't want to liquefy it anyway. Let's do one thing at a time, though. Let's get this sorted. And then get this sorted. No, that's backwards. It would be this way. I know it's boring to look at when it's zoomed in like this. I apologize. Damn, what was that game that came out recently? I really want to play. I was just talking to someone about it the other day. What games have come out recently? Can't even remember. Because we were talking about it, and I was saying I want to play it, and I asked if it was out, and they were like, yeah, it's out already, and I was like, oh yeah, what the hell was it? Can't remember. This is my brain. I'm losing my mind. This is like when I was talking about earlier. I was forgetting like strings of numbers that I needed to remember, like passcodes and stuff. I'm losing it. Probably just lack of sleep, but it's not good either way. That helps. That definitely helps now that that's like following the form. Maybe that was the main thing that was throwing me off, but something about that was just bugging the crap out of me. up for sec so people can see the whole thing. Take a drink of my caffeine potion. These peaches. There are these energy drinks. I don't know if they're new, but they're new to me. They're called Alani New. And they're very tasty. Almost too tasty. As soon as I'm done with one, I just want another. I think they're no sugar though, aren't they? Yeah, no sugar. So, you know, it's only very bad for you. Not very, very bad for you. Y'all ever played Link's Awakening? I love Link's Awakening, and there's that little weird hack Easter egg, whatever you want to call it, thing, where like if you name yourself, I think Zelda with all capital letters, it plays like a flamenco version of the Zelda themes, or the Zelda theme song on the start menu, or the file select, whatever you call it. When I was a kid and I played that and I found that, I remember distinctly I was sitting in the car in the passenger seat. I was not driving. And whatchamacallit, I discovered that. I tried it for the first time and it sounded so cool. I just put the Game Boy speaker up against my ear and put it as loud as I could, and I just listened to it over and over again. That sounded so cool to me. Thought it was so good. It probably is. I mean, it's still probably good, but this particular rendition of this Zelda theme made me think of that for some reason. Now I can see where this needs to go dark. I should have done that from the beginning. It's not perfect, but I'm gonna call it good enough and move on, because I can't spend all day rendering this one stupid fold in his stupid pants. Stupid leather pants. That would never look good on me. That's why they're stupid. I wish I could pull that off, just dressing like a rock star, just looking like that anywhere I go. But I always see when people dress sort of extravagantly like that, or even like very goth or alternative. Like, it makes sense when teenagers do it, but like when you see adults who still kind of dress like that, in my mind it's like, the reason it throws me off is because it's like, you almost look like you're like going to a battle, or like going to, like, you know, I don't know, do something really important or specific. It sort of gives a main character vibe. But in reality, you're just gonna go to Starbucks and buy a coffee and then go home and sit on your couch, like, and you just look like that for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. It's just like, but that's just, you know, more power to you, anyone who likes dressing like that. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying, like, in my mind, that's why I can't dress like that, because I know I'm just gonna be normal, but not look, I don't know how to put it, but you know, it's just how I think about it, I guess. Thoughts with Daniel. It's not the most popular show on the internet, that's for sure. thing is still weird about that. I think it's because this is meshing too much with this, and it shouldn't. It should get like almost like this is going under a little bit and just have it fade off, because it's too much happening at this intersection, and it makes it hard to read what the hell's going on. I think maybe that's what's throwing me off. If I just really fade that out. Yeah, kinda. And then under here, same thing. Like, this definitely couldn't be here because this is under. So that's probably even more than the other part, what's throwing me off. And then this would probably be normal more, and then just fade it out. All off towards that. Sorta. I mean, I think that's sort of better looking. Maybe this part I can bring back now that I've fixed the under part a little bit. At least a little. It's still gotta fall off a bit, but maybe I could like catch it right there and zigzag over here, kind of in the crevice. Know what I'm talking about? You ever read How to Render by Scott Robertson? He talks about how you get the little highlights in the crevices and in the peaks. I knew you get it. I mean, everybody knows you get it in the peaks, but I never, before I read that, I didn't really think about how you get it in the crevices, but you absolutely do. In fact, let's just incorporate this all into kind of a zigzag like this, and maybe that'll read better and look cooler. Let's just try stuff, because it doesn't look that good right now anyway. Can't really mess it up if it already looks bad. I guess you can make it worse. That's not true. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's bad advice. Be always cautious. Never try anything new in your painting. That's worse advice. Yeah, it's maybe a little overdone, but actually I don't hate that. It's kind of alright. It's maybe not that correct, not that realistic, but I think it's fine. It's too bright though, for sure, because this is supposed to be the hot part up here, so I gotta make this a little hotter. And it's also pretty dull, so I can go a lot hotter. I could go like, definitely make that much stronger and let it fall off. And then that's too like there's no texture left though now, so I gotta fix that. Bring some of that texture, that leather. Just think about like some leather kind of creases and stuff you could throw in there. Break it up a little. It's not terrible. It's kind of starting to work. I am looking at reference. I'm not completely making this up. Reference for like leather pants, I mean. Ah, it's too dark. Looks weird. Looks weird. There. Still kind of here too. Just make it nice and subtle, just so it's breaking up the shape to distract from what's going on too much. And also, what is it? Is it that there's more fall off there? Or less? It's probably less, because this is reaching out sort of weirdly, and it should really be more of like a contained shape. And then just stop. Like, it wouldn't keep continuing out here like that in that sort of soft fall off kind of way. It doesn't really make any sense, and it doesn't look good either. It doesn't read well. So let's just try to back that off a little better. Something about the shape is still off of this too. I think it's not quite following the form the way it should be. Something almost like it should be up a little more here, like this. This corner. Yeah, like it's curving in a little. That's a bit better. Or yeah, just more straight with the leg, I guess. With the upper thigh angle of it. I'm definitely not gonna grab another energy drink right now. I would never be so irresponsible with myself and my health as to do something like that. Wow, that took a long time to save. Just zoom in on something interesting while I don't grab an energy drink. Definitely not doing that. I only have an orange left. I like the peach bitter. Hopefully this one doesn't explode. Nope, we're good. The orange one just kind of tastes like normal orange soda. It's not that good. Not that that's bad. It's not that good though. Just kind of gonna look at this for a second. Gather my thoughts. And a half so far. Okay. I'll probably call it a day within the next half hour, and then I'll switch over and just show some of the Mega Man X FPS thing that I've been working on. If possible, if it loads. I haven't opened it in a while, so it sometimes Unreal, when you haven't opened it in a while, it takes like half an hour to open your project, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If not, I'll stream tomorrow and I'll show what I've got done on it so far. I mean, what progress I've made since like the last videos. And just take questions or talk to people about it if they're interested. But I'm gonna keep working on this for now. For the rat now. I'm gonna switch to a big chunky brush for a second and just see if I can work on this. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Work on this shape and just kind of try to do something more interesting with it or something, because it's not quite, I don't know, something about it I don't like. Oh, and also, oh, I see what's going on. Because this rim light is coming up here in force, and so there's either got to be a separation or the rim light's got to be influencing this color and light. So maybe I'll just push it back a little so that there's a little bit of a dark spot in between. Not too dark. This is a bit too dark also. Kind of ruined the shape doing that, but we'll fix it. Why is this brush not like brushing? What the hell? It's like very... It's weird. I don't know what's going on. It's like, it just goes from 0 to 60 and no in between. It's being weird. Normally you can, yeah, do like this, push it in a little. I don't know why it feels strange today. And then, yeah, see, that's kind of the fall off that you want there, I think. That reads better. Maybe just pull that shape in on that side a little bit. Probably look better too. Read better too. Does that work? Not really. The shape is okay, but the tone is, I mean, the heck? That should be wider, I thought. The value, rather, is not correct. I want to get one of those mics that kind of rolls your voice and makes you sound cool. This mic doesn't do that. In case you didn't notice, I don't sound cool. You know what? I know what's going on here at this light. It's bullshit. Let's just try something here, because this is not working. And I see, because I'm looking at my reference, I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? It's really not going to be that long. You would have to have a really long, like a fluorescent tube bulb or something to get that long thing going on down the leg like that, I think. It's just going to be like a spot that kind of falls off a little, I think. That'll look much better, much more realistic. And that's what there is in the reference too. Yeah, I think that already looks better. There's like a hint of it down here, but I don't even want that really. I just want to get rid of that. Just bring some of that texture back in. I think that's gonna work a lot better. Cause yeah, it just looked strange the way it was going there. Cause it's sort of like hitting his hip here. That's why you're sort of seeing it there. Cause his hip is rounding up a bit here. So that makes a lot more sense if you think about the shape underneath. Think about his butt is what I'm saying. In case you couldn't tell. Just gonna spell it out for you. Think about Keanu Reeves' butt. It'll make you a better painter. Daniel Bruno, 2025. I had to think about what year it is. That's not good. I need to go to bed. It's the middle of the afternoon, but, you know, I'm not getting enough sleep, that's for sure. Talking about Keanu Reeves' butt. That's the first giveaway. I'm not getting enough sleep. I mean, he's you know, nice looking human and all, but losing my mind here. Yeah, that's kind of working. I do think maybe you could get away with having it catch a little under here as well. Just a little more subtly. Not like that. Not like that at all. Maybe more like even less. Just barely. And then getting more dark towards here. Gradients. I don't really think that's adding anything, really, actually. I think it's distracting. Maybe you could have just like it get skinny here. And just kind of turn into this kind of thing. And have that fall off. Or just follow the reference. I don't know. You know. Real life and all. It's probably better, but to some extent. Actually, that looks good. I like that. Okay, that's working. It's working enough. These just feel so out of place though, just being these straight lines. And when I'm looking at the reference, it really does kind of actually not do that. It kind of actually, switch back to the pencil for this. It kind of goes, it wraps around a certain point. Like it has an end point and then it kind of goes back on the crease that is here. And it creates that kind of shape, that very familiar kind of like cloth shape. And there's some fall off too, like this. I don't want to make them both too identical though, because it looks weird. It's more like, see if I can get away with this. Not quite like that, more like, oh I know, like it's catching here, probably, would be good. And then there's a break here from that seam. Not like that though. That doesn't look right. Oh, that kind of works, probably. Yeah, something like that, I don't know. And then up here, kind of do a similar thing, but not the same. It can also break and just be two separate ones in the crease that just sort of connect. Or hint at connecting, what do they call that? I should know that, but I don't. Sorry. Continuation. It's like that compositional principle. I don't know. Line thing. And of course that should be more like here, because that's where it's actually the highlight is strongest. Maybe up here it can break back a little. Something like that, but then you gotta stop it here to make it make sense. This is the observatory music from Majora's Mask, I think. Watch me get that wrong too. Like the other song. But no, this one's pretty obvious, I can tell. I remember this. Oh, and this is why it's looking weird, because it's getting lighter here too. It shouldn't be doing that. Should really be kind of falling off there. Yeah, there we go. But this should be more straight. This side of this edge here should be kind of like this more. A little bit of fall off. Getting there. See, I said it. I said I wasn't gonna say it. I just said it. I'm gonna add probably a little bit here, because that looks like a fold. Make it more subtle, because it's so far from like the actual point that's where the light is. A lot more subtle. Make sure that seam's breaking it. All that good stuff. Yeah, it's kind of working. I think. I don't know. What's better? This? Was all that for nothing? This might look better. Maybe. Maybe it does. I might have just overworked all that. No, I think I just don't like this shape because it's doing this weird thing. It's not like, it should just be little more squared, I think, and then it'll probably look okay. Because there's nothing that would be making it turn real sharp there like that. I'm noodling way too much on this. I'm not making enough progress. That's starting to look better though. I kind of like that. A little more like what I initially had, but not quite. Yeah, I think that's decent for now. I'll probably come back to it at some point, but I'm gonna go crazy if I keep noodling on that stupid highlight though. It's never gonna be perfect. And I'm overthinking it now, so I'm gonna move on to something else. One thing that I haven't gotten in yet is these, he has like these, they're not bullets, but they're metal studs that kind of look like bullets in this part of the belt. And this part of the belt isn't even like rendered yet, so I should probably do that. Start a new layer, just start working on that. And this part of the belt is much more matte, which kind of shows off the shiny bullets more. So I'm going to keep that in mind. And it's duller. It's got less saturation, but it's also darker by a tad. Maybe not that much. Man, I can't. It's like not desaturating as I desaturate because it's so green underneath, or blue, whatever. I think once I cover it, I'll be able to see it better. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. See, that's like the same as the top part though. That doesn't work. Yeah, something more like this, I think. It ends right about there. I don't know, I can't desaturate it more, it just turns weirdly like more saturated and lighter. Kind of odd how that's doing that. That might be right, actually. No, not quite that dark, but it's getting, that's closer than what I had. It's hard because when you get down to this part of the square here, it changes a lot more than you expect it to. It gets darker much. Okay, there we go. Faster. Than you think it will. And then this part will be much darker because it's in shadow. That's about right. It's raining again. How weird. It rains so not that frequently in California, but the last 2 days that I streamed it was raining. Today and the last time. And then I think the best way to go about this would be to just put in the shapes first. Broadly, kind of. I gotta see how they actually go though, because I want them to, I know what to do, yeah. So, not quite like that. This is a separate layer, because I'll make a clipping mask that I'll go back in and add the actual light and dark, and this will work pretty quickly. This is much easier than rendering the stupid pants. And then we'll just go darker for this part. Much darker. Oh, not even that. Much darker than that. Okay, I'll go back in and cut out where it needs it. I actually think that kind of is already working, so they're already kind of aligned. So I don't really need to cut it out there, because the tops will be round anyway, so that actually works for that. It's kind of a cool belt. I want that belt. But I'll cut out this middle a little bit because it's a little too close there. There's definitely space between these. So now I'm just narrating again. No one's really in right now though, so there's no one to talk to. Normally someone would have started chatting by now when I stream later. Okay, and then let's... Oh, I can't do a clipping mask because it's already clipped. So instead, I'll just do that. It's harder to see what I'm doing, but I'll make it work. These are going to be pretty hot highlights where the light is catching. These are just like these cylindrical studs that kind of look like bullets. See, the other characters were much faster to paint because they're like busts. These two are the only who are more like full body shots. So there's a lot more to do. And weirdly, even in the shadow, at least in the reference, it's really catching hot highlight, but I'm gonna soften it a little. Because I don't think that's gonna... I think in the situation that I have, it's more in shadow than in the reference. By quite a bit. Probably even darker than that, but I'll start with this and I'll darken it. Okay. That one got away from me a little bit. And then we'll go another layer under that, just for the purpose of keeping the editing as non-destructive as possible. And it really just gets kind of freaking really dark here. So we'll see how this looks once I get the ants gone, because I can't really see it right now, but this will probably be about what it looks like. And then here it will be even darker. Okay. Yeah, so that's a good base to start with. And so now I'm going to go over the top of the highlights and add in these little cuts that it has. Put that same value that I was just working with. And let's see, sort of the top. Oh, that's not small enough. I'll stick with this part for now. Same thing, oops, same thing on the bottom. And then the middle's a little different. Well, it's very different. But... and in the middle, it's actually getting thinner in the middle. It's gonna be right about here, so let's start like right there. I wonder if you can hear the rain on the stream. You probably can't because I have a noise gate. I think I said that exact same sentence. I just realized as I was saying it the last stream, but I'm saying it anyway. I'm still wondering. I never found out the answer. Okay, and so in order to make this part thinner, I have to scooch this in a bit. Not like that. Let's try that again. Oh, that's wrong. That's just blatantly wrong, because it actually should be more in the middle, not less in the middle. So just thinner though. So I mean that was kind of the right track, but not quite. It's just gonna do this more. Yeah, something like that. Okay, that's looking decent. Kind of lost it here though when you zoom out, so let's strengthen that up a little. I should title this stream "Fun Watching Paint Dry." Everyone will watch, if I'm honest. I think I accidentally erased this. I saw that a second ago. I was like, what was that? The palm rejection didn't quite work there. Okay, now this thing, same thing. It's like the most boring part I could be streaming. Be a little bit less precious with this section though, because it's more in shadow, so you're more so just going to be seeing that highlight. You won't really see the rest of it too much. And yeah, it should definitely be toned down a little. That's the best way to do that. Maybe just airbrush over the top of it a little. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll actually render this part now, which is gonna get a nice little, I assume it would get like a nice little highlight right here in this kind of corner area. Which is kind of what's happening in the reference. Sort of. A little different though. The lighting's a little different there. Just pull that through. And it's definitely still going to be a little bit lighter than this. At least over most of it. Sort of dirty, just pushing that value in, but I'll clean it up. Just trying to see. I don't want it to look too round though. It's definitely got to look flat than that, so even it out a little. It's not that round. Something like that. It's getting close. But it's way too dark here for sure. I mean, way too light, not way too dark. It needs to be darker here. In fact, it should probably just be getting caught right on there, and then maybe on this edge a little bit. It wouldn't travel down that much. Oh, this... see what's going on. This goes all the way to here. That's why it's covering that part. Yeah, it's a little wider than I thought it was. Oops. I hate it when it doesn't sample what I want it to sample. And not that far down. But just kind of like that. And give it a little bit of fall off because this is so round, this area. Or in fact, it'd probably get fall off on the top because it's curling in so much. Fall off is not the right word for that. It's more just like the form is turning away. I'm not saying it right though. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely working, especially at a distance. Cool. Which is what you want, because that's how you're gonna see it. Shouldn't be zooming in so much anyway. But this screen is not that big, so I kind of have to. I need to get a bigger tablet. One of these days I'm gonna save up some cash and get that 22 Cintiq. They have one that's a 22 Cintiq, but it's not a Pro now. So it only costs like $1,200 as opposed to all the Pro lines. I think the Pro 22 is like $2,400 or something, which is crazy. But $1,200 I could do, probably. Save up my pennies. Now this is going to be weird because this rim light is interacting with this a lot. The way I have it here, so it's not quite right. Gonna be way darker down here because the belt is blocking the light. including, as they say. With a little bit of fall off. I said it again, even though it's wrong. That's okay, you know what I mean. That's actually looking pretty decent now. I think this is throwing me off. It's getting a little too dark in here. It looks like it's really sunken in for some reason. It's not supposed to be that sunken in. Just a touch. Oops. Better. Even this is a little bit much. Okay. Well, Johnny is getting much closer to being done now. Did a decent amount for him today. Okay. Alright, next stream I do, I will probably do a Mega Man X FPS, sort of a little update stream, just showing the extra progress that I've made on that. The new progress that I've made on that. And then I'll get back to the art stream. I might even do that art stream for that same one, because I'll have pulled some people in that way. More than this one. And then when I get that, I'll do that most likely tomorrow. I should have no reason not to do it tomorrow, so probably around the same time. Maybe I'll start a little later, because I think later more people can watch. But this will be up, the replay of this stream, so people might see it still. More people might see it still, I mean, but yeah. Definitely made progress on Johnny. I don't have my layers organized enough to show like everything I did today, but let's just see if I turn off like these top 5 or so layers. Maybe this one too. Yeah, so that's kind of more like what I started with today, 2 hours ago. And now we're to here. And this. No, not that. Wait. What am I looking at? There's something else that I did. I hope I didn't screw this up by doing that. Yeah, the texture's still there. I did all this too, this stitching in here. I don't know what layer that's on. I'm not gonna mess with it. What is this? Oh yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah, that's what I just did. So it is like this. Okay, good. The lack of contrast there, or the less contrast, threw me off for a second. Yeah, so definitely making progress. More progress than I've made recently. So this one, I'm hoping will be done realistically next week, I think is reasonable to hope for. And tomorrow I will do the update for the Mega Man X FPS stream. So yeah, that'll be good. And I'm gonna, like I said last week, I'm at least gonna stream every other day, but I'm definitely gonna stream tomorrow, so that'll be 2 in a row. And I might stream more than that. I'll try to aim for every day, but we'll see how that goes. And then on Saturday and Sunday I'll do longer streams probably. I'll have more time. So this week anyway. So thanks everybody for tuning in, anyone who did. I know there's not many left, but so you can't hear this, but anyone who checks out the replay, thank you for watching as well. And see you on the next one. Bye-bye.